Hey, it's great to have you along. I'm meteorologist Andy Parker. We have an evening update as the Lake Snow Band has moved back into the city of Buffalo, well, at least right next to it, and we're tracking it for you live. Let's take a look at what it looks like right now. This is the Lake Band as it inches its way back towards the city of Buffalo. We'll talk about where it's going to be, how long it's going to stay there, and of course, what's in store for tomorrow. As we take a look at the bigger picture, this is what you've got. When you're inside the snow band, it doesn't look like much, or I should say when you're outside the snow band into the city of Buffalo, it's not bad. But if you're on Ohio Street, as you get along Route 5 and the Skyway, that is a mess right there. Let's go back into the city of Buffalo and see what it looks like now. Are the flakes falling in the city proper yet? Nope, there's the live picture. You can see the roadways are already down to scraped concrete. But boy, oh boy, that is just a stark contrast as we see things evolve in the city now that this has moved back up. Let's take on a bit of a tour. As we do, if we ask you to just do a quick like and share for the channel, that would be awesome as we kind of take you street level and answer all of your questions. We can always see what you're asking and talking about on the side of the screen. All you've got to do is type them in and we'll be able to see them. Nothing in Niagara County. That is right, Dawn. This is going to stay right here as we go from Buffalo to the South Towns. It is squarely in West Seneca, Blaisdell, Lackawanna, inland towards Lancaster, Town Line, Alden getting hit again, and now on both sides of the thruway, straddling sections of Southern Clarence right along Main Street. It's still a fairly strong band in the center, but it is very narrow as it extends downward along Lake Erie Beach, Angola getting a bit, but just offshore of Dunkirk. This may make a move into the city over the next few hours, but I will tell you this, the snow totals, David, they have been impressive and some new numbers coming in, right?
Yeah, no question about it. Eden, you are officially into the 3-foot club. Take a look at it, or I should say 1 inch shy of the 3-foot club. 35 inches in central portions of Erie County. Orchard Park, right around 30 inches. Hamburg, Attica, Alexander in the 2-foot club as well. And hey, you know, some great photos coming on in, Andy. Take a look at this. This is Chad. He's out in the village of Lancaster. And if you watched us earlier this morning, yeah, we didn't talk so much about Lancaster. We are all about the Hamburgs, the Orchard Parks, the Elmas. Lancaster, you're in it right now, and this is what it looks like, 2 to 3 inches per hour. Chad, you are absolutely right. When we were looking at that Doppler, and Andy, I can tell you, look at this. We're getting a lot of questions. We're getting a lot of comments, too, about Lancaster. Ashley, Joanne, what's about Lancaster?
Lancaster is terrible. Lancaster getting hammered. How much longer in West Seneca? Let's give this a peek here and see what the South Towns look like. We'd love to get some snow totals in these areas because they were clipped earlier today. And Dave, I knew you were in South Buffalo earlier. What did you have there this morning out of the first batch?
About 4 inches.
4 inches, and then now what are we? Well, actually, it's adding up and continuing on. We've got a 40-inch number here. Someone said in Angola, unbelievable. So much snow in Elma. Lancaster is bad. You can see that this extends there, and in Lancaster, it's probably going to get worse before it gets better, I think would be the phrase that pays on this one. And it says, will I be able to drive along the 400 tomorrow at 6 a.m.? Will it open? I do think so. Sloan is another one right there. We've got you on the map, Sloan, front and center. You can see Harlem Road right there. That's about as far north as it goes as you get into Broadway going downtown. But it is right on the door. When we say right, I mean, that's a view. That's a live picture where you've got clear roads and then practically the winds have subsided, so I don't want to call them whiteout conditions anymore, but they are waving the white flag in Hamburg, David. You let me know when you've got another one of those pictures to show off, and we'll let people know. What else we have here? Updates for Amherst. Let's slide north of the thruway. Amherst, you're doing okay. It doesn't look like this is going to make the move all the way up there. What we're doing is keying on this portion of the band right here, and you can see that it is up to the north. And a lot of times this will force the band to kind of bend northward. And we do see a slight northward push in this. So it would not be surprising if we did catch a jog right into the city of Buffalo in the next hour or two. But it won't last that long because this might be the end of the snow band just for the next couple of hours. There you can see the difference in between different spots on the map that are only just a couple miles apart. But a lot of people are saying, well, how long is this going to last? When is it going to be done? And when can we start to plan for tomorrow? We'll go ahead and do that right now because this is as it stands at 2 a.m. tonight. that's the impact zone of the snow band. So it's going to be in areas still like Blaisdell and West Seneca, and possibly over here into Lancaster, portions of Lancaster, right where it is. That's around 2 in the morning. And then what you're going to find is that you've got, what is it now, 7:40, so 8:40, 9:40, 10:40, 11, another 4 or 5 hours of this. Then we're going to see a rapid dismantling of the snow band. It begins to shrink, the winds drop down, and then it begins to move. Around 5 in the morning, this starts to exit the South Towns in time for the morning commute. It will be still lingering along the thruway, but in a much weakened fashion. By 7, 8, 9 o'clock, it fades away down in Westfield. So in case you missed that, what we can do is maybe re-rack this here and get it going. But that's how this thing ends up wrapping up. The lake effect band. So it starts to fade pretty quickly. But we've got another bunch of hours here waiting to see if this Irish whip brings it out of South Buffalo and into downtown proper. It has come so close, David. We are literally into the Cobblestone District, Larkinville, getting snow, but not downtown proper. And
yeah, the intense snow band is south. I don't want to say well south of downtown Buffalo, but I mean, in portions from Blaisdell to Lackawanna, that's where you're seeing the heaviest snow. And I'm looking at Doppler, and it's another good batch of heavy snow, 2 to 3 inches per hour, about to cross from Angola to the Blaisdell area.
Yeah, you can see them out
right there.
Yeah, they're just lined up. It's a pretty good fire hose of snow that's going to continue in this area. So this is where they're going to get their snow, and it's going to begin to pile up. Southern sections of Cheektowaga, Lancaster, Town Line, Alden, Marilla, throw them in there. They were hit pretty hard earlier as well. We've got Cheryl saying South Buffalo is bad. We know that Cheryl is our South Buffalo liaison. She keeps an eye on it for us. Feel free to throw your snow totals in here. Snow for Wheatfield anytime soon. It's not happening tonight, Wheatfield. You are outside of the snow zone, 100%. Colden got hit hard today as well. Well, it's good for Kissing Bridge, but bad for the folks that had to do some driving. South Dayton is, let's take a look, not any of this right now, but South Dayton will pick up some early tomorrow morning. This is definitely in the northern portion of the South Towns. Judy, thank you very much. We appreciate that.
I do have a picture on of Cheektowaga if you want to share that.
We'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just put it on the screen right now. But this is from CJ, and I'm pretty sure he's not sitting in traffic. He's just clearing off the all the snow that's piling up there off of William Street in Cheektowaga. I want to say maybe this is right around the William Street exit on the thruway right there. But you can see it's coming down. But the good news is, if there's any solace to what's happening, earlier today we had that wind. And we had the wind and the very intense band of snow that was dropping more than 3 inches an hour in spots. But right now, that wind has significantly died down. So that is good news. If you have to be out and about and, hopefully not travel within some of the intense heavy bands, but still it is going right around 2 to 3 inches per hour right now.
That's right. Got a question about Attica in here. We'll take folks over there and give Attica a look as we slide out and down a little bit and pick it up. So Attica is underneath the snow band at this point. It's probably some snow showers out there. A lot of schools closed. I know Orchard Park is closed tomorrow. I'm not sure about some of the others. A lot of questions about the school closings. I wish we had an updated list. But at this point, we're just keeping track of the snow. Depew, Lancaster, it is snowing like crazy out there. So this is when Depew is going to get their snow. And it looks like it is it at the airport? It is, yes. The snow has arrived at the airport. So I have to keep an eye on this one for those travelers that have people coming in and out. Will they have a travel ban in the morning? I don't think so. I think this pulling out tonight is going to give them the rest of the evening to do it. And then also taking care of the roads. Hey, thank you very much, Tracy. Appreciate it. If everybody does what Tracy does, just go ahead and give that like and share button to hit right now. I know most folks are watching on their cell phones. It's super easy. Just move that right finger and hit it. We can see it go, and the numbers go crazy. We appreciate it. That's what it takes to get us going and keep it moving. I got one on here, Amherst, Williamsville. Let's go in here. Wow, is it close to Williamsville now? I mean, it is knocking on the door, David, just on the diagonal. We've got another one. When will the travel bans be reassessed? I think they're going to do that overnight, 100%. Here's one that says West Seneca schools are closed on Friday as well. So West Seneca, Orchard Park are closed. Tonawanda not expecting snow out of this. Oakfield, as we drive up there a little bit, it is not a problem. But what we'll find is that as the winds switch direction, this Lake Ontario band may end up clipping the shoreline of Lake Ontario, but it's not going to be a significant amount. It'll be as it's all dying out. Hey, Dunkirk is in the house. Don't know exactly. It's tough driving in that stuff. What do we have here? We've got North Collins, Eden, Frontier, no school. My goodness, they all just bailed on it and had to say, let's do a long weekend.
Hey, do you want to talk about Wales?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, this is out from Wales. Gene sent this in. Says about 3 feet of snow in your backyard, and that is one depressed shoveler right there. Like,
man, that is,
you know, I've been in that position before. It is not fun. It is very tiresome to shovel all that snow.
That is a hurting back. We've got Scott saying that Buffalo is open, and that's because Buffalo looks like this. Although South Buffalo is kind of bad. So that's Nadine is saying that South Buffalo is pretty ugly, and that's what we can show you back here as we slide in. I mean, you've got the city is fine. It's snowing in Sloan, snowing in South Buffalo, but I do believe the amount that's in South Buffalo is going to be manageable, and they'll probably throw everything they have on it. Lake Shore is closed. Another one here. What do we got? Lancaster in the house again. North gets 2 inches and then they're paralyzed. Oh my goodness. Occasionally that does happen. Yeah, it is not created equal here. Will Main and Transit be squared? Guy, this is going to be the question of the day. His neighborhood up here, Guy's been with us for a long time. He drives a plow. If you're looking for a plow driver, man, one of the best. Is on top of it as I've ever seen someone in that profession. And you can see that it is so close to being Main and Transit. And it looks like if it takes a jog into Buffalo, if Buffalo gets clipped in the next hour by this jog, then I would expect that area to catch it. But it just doesn't want to go into the city. It is coming so close, but still the flakes aren't flying there in downtown Buffalo. How will 20A be in the morning? Will be scraped. I'm not going to say you're down the pavement, but they will definitely scrape it. The winds have died down, Tracy. They're looking a lot better. We've got one in here that says Lackawanna is bad. Lancaster from Walden, near whiteout conditions. Let's go to look at this because that's interesting to hear that phrasing. Lancaster from Walden south. So if we hop out here to Lancaster and look at this. So they're saying that this is all whiteout conditions. I mean, the wind is still going. It's just not as heavy as it was this afternoon. The gusts have gone. Arcade has not gotten that much. Where was it here? It said lackluster snow performance for Dunkirk and Fredonia. You will get it back a little bit more tonight. How much more will Hamburg get? I think we're looking at this. This is actually north of Hamburg right now, so you're kind of out of the mix. This is your break while Blaisdell takes the brunt of it right now. So it wouldn't surprise me to see another 6 inches on top of what you've already got there. I'm going to jump right ahead. The newest comment squarely on West Seneca says Jim Clark. Thanks, Jim. He's at Seneca Creek Road, which is right in the middle of that stuff. West Seneca has got the hardest stuff on the map. Hey, how much more for Elma tonight? Let me get this one and we'll go to your stuff. It looks like in Elma, you're sitting right in the middle. It's actually just north of Elma. It's in Lancaster right now. But again, this would be another 6 inches in that spot. David, take it.
Yeah, you were just mentioning Cheektowaga and somebody saying it was whiteout conditions. This is the thruway at the Walden Street exit, and you can see the four-way is going right there. Yeah. Barely seeing the sea of headlights. Lots of four-ways actually being shown here on the thruway. So it's definitely a slow go out there.
Bad in Alden. My goodness, it's still going. I mean, it's been a day, it was a long day, but it's all still rolling out there, that is crazy. That is crazy. All right, I want to bring it back because we had some questions about how long this is going to be around. And where is it going? So let me bring that graphic in. We'll answer that question. So here's the impact area. I'm going to remove Jordan there for a moment. So there's the impact area as it stands into the evening hours. And if we zoom in, so it's all the way out to Attica, Alden, Blaisdell, South Buffalo, kind of on the fringe here, West Seneca as well. So that's where it's going to be between now at 2 a.m. And it will start to swallow up Hamburg, Lake Erie Beach again. So those are going to be the spots that are under the gun. But watch what happens as we run the clock here to 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. It becomes weaker It's going to change direction as well. So by the time you get to the morning drive, I don't think we have any heavy snow in and around Buffalo or any of the South towns per se. You got to go down deeper to Dunkirk. And this is where Dunkirk and Dayton, Gowanda, Perrysburg, they'll pick up the snow because that's where this thing winds up. And it should end during the morning hours down there and fade away. By then, it's actually a little bit of sunshine up north. It was actually sunny in the north towns for a while. We've got Kenneth saying it was worse than last week's storm. And what do we got? Cheektowaga near the airport is just a few, nothing much. It hasn't really come. Let me go back to the radar on this. It really hasn't done much north of the Thruway. This has been a pretty quiet go, but this is about as close as it's been. What's it like in Amherst right now? No problems. It is free and clear. East Aurora, it's north of you right now, but it will slide back through you again. Lake Erie is wide open. Yes, there's going to be more snow in the coming weeks. Absolutely. Used to moved down to Virginia because of the snow. A lot of people have done that. Cheektowaga is sitting right in the middle of this right now. The south side of Cheektowaga, well, as it bumps into the airport, it drops off. But the South Cheektowaga is about as much as it's in there. I mean, that is a mess. Jessica's coming home tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. They live in Orchard Park. Wow, you're going to see some snow, but you'll make it home, no problem. This will be done by then. OP amount overnight tonight. Let's get a look at Orchard Park because the southern end of Orchard Park, who got hit really bad today, is actually getting a bit of a break, and it's the area near West Seneca that's getting clipped now. So I think the snow totals are going to be heavier closer to West Seneca tonight, but again, we're probably in another 6 inches of the really fluffy stuff by the time you wake up in the morning. David, jump in if you've got something.
Yeah, absolutely. We were just talking about earlier how tall the snow is and how much snow has fallen across the area. Well, this was just sent in to us by Kim, and look at all the dogs just like jumping around in the snow, having a blast here.
How many dogs they have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's a herd of dogs.
Yeah.
You know what? There's something about watching dogs in the snow that's just so entertaining.
It's fun.
Thank you for the video. That's awesome. Hey, everybody in the room right now, we're going to pop up on the screen real quick while we got the dogs. Do us a favor, give us a like and a share real quick. I know most people are probably watching on the cell phones, and if you want to let us know whether you're on a cell phone or a PC, some people I know spray it up onto the TV and then they can watch it simply there. But do that and let us know what's going on. And if you could do a quick like and a share on this, that would be awesome. It helps us out. It keeps this rolling. It keeps the dogs running. As they'd say. Hey, look at this. The difference. How close is it to the city? That's Route 5 of the I-90. The Ohio Street Bridge is snow covered and it's coming down. If you haven't heard, the snow totals are now over the 30-inch mark in a couple of spots. A lot of places, the majority of places are between 1 and 2 feet, but there are some bell ringers out there now. Who's getting dumped on? West Seneca Orchard Park border. That is it. We just had that on the screen. I was wondering if someone was going to mention it, and they did. And that's the border. There's Southwestern as it takes a bend. The Wyo is over there. Then you're into Five Corners here, and you've got Mile Strip. Just so you know what you're looking at, that's the 219. It's been closed all day, and you can see that snow is impacting that a ton. William Street earlier today, Jim Clark said, was the dividing line between the clear north and the Arctic South. Yeah, they had so much sunshine to the north. We've got a cell phone here. We've got another cell phone. What do we have here? Snow is really heavy in South Lancaster. It's going to be there for a number of hours more because when we look and read the radar, you start looking back to where the origination point is on the band, and then you can see you've got a Long Point here that juts out over the lake. Now it's beginning to sink just south of Long Point. So what this is telling us is that this is probably going to be the most northern point that this snow band gets. Right here, maybe the city of Buffalo, but I think it's now going to, over the next few hours, begin to sink. It's going to take a few more hours for that to get here. So what you see is what you get. These towns, whatever is happening out there now is going to continue to happen in the communities that we just talked about. And then it's not going any further north, but then it comes back to Hamburg, East Aurora, Eden, North Collins, Angola, Derby, Silver Creek. So all of this will be coming back. It's just skirting the shoreline right now. And where it is piling up, I mean, look at this. South Buffalo, Kaz Park is right in there. Lackawanna, Route 5, it is an absolute mess. Hey, there's the first tablet on there. Thank you very much. Cover tomorrow's forecast. Yeah, we'll pop that up on the screen for you, make it easy. So Wednesday, we had the rain-snow mix. Today is the lake snow. Tomorrow, it's just plain old cold. The lake effect goes away. We bounce back to the 30s on Saturday, and then the 40s are there on Friday. It started at 4 o'clock in South Cheektowaga, and it hasn't stopped over by Borden and French. I've got a good friend that lives in that area. If you got a snow total, shoot it over. When will it pass Lackawanna? It's over top of you right now. As I mentioned, where if it's snowing at your house now, it's probably going to continue to snow at your house for the next several hours. Looks like, that was confirmed that I believe that the road was closed. Thank you very much, Luann. Appreciate all the thank yous and all the likes that you guys just slammed on the channel. And if you didn't get the chance to do it, please, I know people are in and out of the room all the time. Go ahead and do that. Hey, we'll take you through what's happening out there right now. And as we watch the difference between downtown and where this is in the city, you can see it is a stark contrast between the two.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to go further down Route 5 and take a left on to Tift Street and Furman Boulevard. I mean, this is what the view is right now in South Buffalo. Kathy just sent this to us.
Thanks, Kathy.
It's not as impressive as the pictures that we're seeing out of Eden, Orchard Park, Hamburg, even portions of Cheektowaga and Lancaster. Still, this is enough snow to make travel conditions difficult. And by the way, I want to give a shout out to our friend John Kutchko, who commented that the lake effect snow reached Soda's Point. And if you're wondering where is Soda's Point, that's on Lake Ontario. So that's about a 2-hour drive from Buffalo to Soda's Point, more than 100 miles. So that's how far the lake effect snow has stretched.
That is amazing that it went that far. I don't think it's going that far right now. Let's go ahead and look at this as we widen it out. Yeah, the wind this morning was so strong. It did just carry that all the way in. So right now it's barely making it out to Batavia at this point, and it's really almost more bursts in Batavia. And as the winds begin to die down, the snow just isn't carried as far. We had gusts up to 40, 41, 45 miles an hour today, and that was enough to send that several counties over. We went through a lot of school closings. Hey, Diane, thank you very much for being here as well. That's awesome. Let's see who else we have in here. We've got another one that says cell phone clearing the driveway for the third time in West Seneca today near Southwestern and Angle, snowing steadily again in that spot. And that is a spot that's been hit a couple times. We've got how is it on Cayuga Creek Road by JFK High School? Cayuga Creek, that's going to be right in, I think that's still in the snow zone right there. Pouring snow in West Seneca, Lackawanna getting hit several hours at this rate. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's unfortunately what you got. And this isn't even the heaviest snow rate of the day. That was owned by Eden, who allegedly did 6 inches in an hour, back to back. That is phenomenal to drop a foot of snow in a matter of 2 hours. That's up to like a legendary category here. South Buffalo in the house watches updates. That's awesome. Thank you very much, Joe. We appreciate that. Is there school tomorrow? There's a whole bunch of schools, a long list of schools who aren't going. I know it's West Seneca, Orchard Park, East Aurora, Frontier, a couple of the Angle, Lake Shore. So there's a bunch of them that aren't going. But nowadays they just text the parents, so we don't have to sit and wait and watch the alphabet and see if your school comes in. What do we got here? The most recent stuff. We've got Angola getting hit pretty hard as well. Where's the one? Oh, here it was from Lisa. She says, worked all day in sunny North Buffalo. It was a rude awakening when she got to West Seneca because there was nothing. I mean, there's nothing on the roads in the city. Still no flakes. Not even a flurry in downtown Buffalo. As a matter of fact, watch this. Let's go check on these cars and see what's it look like. How much snow are on the cars in the city. Now, a few of these cars have been parked there all day, and you can see that they've got a little covering on top of the car. We'll see if it'll zoom in and take a look. It's trying to focus on there. We'll give it another 5 seconds and see if it'll zoom in and grab it. There it comes. How much snow is on there? And not bad. That's easy. That's a snow brush. And you can see that there's the tracks. It did clip the city with just enough snow to make it festive, but it's not anything that's going to be major when you think about the city of Buffalo. Nice lights over there on a sweet street called Rabine Terrace over by Huron in downtown Buffalo on Buffalo's west side. That's what we're looking at right there. And that snow band, how close is it to those backyards? Literally maybe a mile at best. Definitely walking distance over to the band. Here's one that says, Tracy cleaned off her car twice in South Buffalo since 6 p.m. Well, you're going to have to do it another time before this is done. How long is it going to go between the West Seneca and Elma border? Let's give you a look because that's right over here. And Transit Road, it looks like the Transit and 400 is a mess. But once you get onto South Transit, but it's maybe 20A in Transit, you're definitely out of it there. But the worst of it right now is sliding through Depew. David, do you have any content for us? What do you got?
Yeah, absolutely. This is in West Seneca. Kathy says she just got home in time before the snow band came back into her backyard. Look at that. From about 2 hours ago to what it looks like right now, the snow is now up to the mid tires. So definitely you're going to have to shovel that up before you leave for tomorrow morning if you have to go to work. And by the way, we were talking about winds earlier today. And I'm just going through some of the wind reports, the highest gusts, just to read off a couple of places. Dunkirk Airport, 52-mile-an-hour gusts. Buffalo Airport, 51. I want to say Hamburg was about 55-mile-an-hour gusts. And then for those of us living along Lake Ontario, for Olcott, a maritime station measured a 64-mile-an-hour gust.
Wow. That's a mess. Let's go Buffalo. You should remember the day of the radio school closings. Look at this is interesting too. Where's the next one here? It's from Brenda. So she said she drove through the worst lake snow band in the stretch of French Road in West Seneca. Can they fast forward to spring? Yeah, we've got a lot more winter to get through here. How much is South Buffalo going to get tonight? I think it's at the snow rate, David. Looking at what's coming down right there and then how this just has no interest in moving, it's going to be at least 6 inches in South Buffalo, Blaisdell, Lackawanna. In that line of thinking, it's a very light, fluffy snow at this stage with the air temperature in the teens. So this is not going to be a heavy snow to move, but it's going to be one that just continues to pile up. Snow in Cheektowaga for a while. Yep, for a number of hours before this is done. Where is this one? Will it come back to the town of Evans? Yes, it will be. And I'll show everybody when in a moment here. We'll pop that back up on the screen. Now everybody's like, go Bills. Let's go Buffalo. Hey, do you want to show? You know what? It's a good time to do that. Let's pop it on here. This is the stadium. Where is it now? Did it dive on me? I don't know. I think we might have to reload the stadium video. I'm going to remove it, and we'll have to pop that back in there, David, if you get a chance and take a look at it. We had some interesting video that came in from inside the new Bills stadium, and that's an interesting view. Some snowy seats, to say the least. That's why once they get that half roof done, it'll be better. He owns a snowplow business. Their crew has been working around the clock trying to clear the south towns. I feel for you there. We know some guys whose truck went off the road. Take a look at this. That's inside the new build, right, David?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, hopefully this person, whoever took this, hopefully they live close to their house. Wow. Because it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. Rain, snow, sleet, hail. They're working on it. They've got.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much work
they've got to get it done.
My guess is they hit the pause button today. Maybe some indoor work on that one. But somebody was there. Look at that. Steel girders. I mean, that's a cold job on a day like today. Wow. That's great video. That's neat. All right, what do we have here? What about Angola? Angola will get clipped again. Boy, it's right on the edge. Sturgeon Point, let's take you there. Beechwood Drive, if we zoom in, right in here, and it's snowing at the point, but then if you go to the thruway, it really tapers off. So that's how narrow this is right now as this ban continues. And a lot of folks in here wanted to know, what's it going to do? Where's it going to go? How does this end? Please tell us it's going to end. And so here we go. Let's show these communities that are getting hit right now. The northern edge of this is through Lackawanna, West Seneca. The time on the clock is around 2 in the morning. So we're going to see that this kind of continues for the next number of hours. It's 8 now, 10, 9, 10, 11, 12. So another 4 or 5 hours of this. That's why we're pretty confident that you're going to see 6 inches of snow in those areas. And then it'll begin to migrate further to the south, swallowing up some of the south towns all the way down to Silver Creek. It leaves Attica and then it starts sinking even further south of the stadium. Before the morning drive, this should really fade away unless you're one of the early birds on the road. But if we consider maybe the 6 and 7 o'clock hour for the morning drive, this now has faded down to Dunkirk, and it will be a much weakened lake effect band as it eventually just kind of fades away in place mid-morning. So that's how it's all going to work out. This is kind of the last stand. We'll go fast forward for you here. You can see the impact zone, and it fades away, and you get the general idea. There it is now. It loses its intensity and then just dies and disappears. And then we don't have to talk lake effect for a number of days because we've got this temperatures that are cold on Friday, then they rebound, and it's not multiple. It's not like a week of cold, but this is a cold snap, 100%. A burst of cold air came in and just lit up the lake, and there it went. How much more snow for Cheektowaga tonight? I think it depends on what part of Cheektowaga you're in. Southern Cheektowaga is probably in line again with everybody else for about another 4 to 6 inches. Nothing coming up to the falls. When is it ending in Lackawanna? We just covered that, Deborah. This is going to be it's an additional, yeah. So that's kind of exactly because we think it's going to weaken as well. So you might get this very heavy snow for the next couple of hours, and then it'll probably weaken a little bit there. There's obviously some plus or minus because it'll start to move as well. So you have communities that are getting hit now, but then in the next couple hours won't. So it's difficult to do that snow math for everybody on the fly, but as an average, that's kind of what we're looking for. Where are we at? Lake water temperature on Lake Erie is 43 degrees. What do we got here? Joe says wet snow equals beer and pain relief. That it is rough. The stuff on the bottom of that is the heavy stuff because it's actually the ground is still warmer and it will melt the stuff that comes in contact with the ground, and especially if you have a big snowpack. So that's real heavy. Still coming down good in West Seneca. Dave, if you maybe have another piece of content to show, and I'd love to get a camera in some of those areas if NITEC's got them available.
Yeah, this is from our friend Alan out in Fort Erie across the pond in Lake Erie.
Hey,
and you can see he's looking directly at that snow band that has been dumping feet of snow on portions of South Town. But, I'd love to one day go on the other side of Lake Erie to Canada and see those lake seiches, when the winds are super strong out of the west. He always gives us some great photos.
He does. We appreciate it, Alan. Thank you very much, buddy. On the other side, he's got always a great view, and he has a knack for being in the right place at the right time. I tell you what, right now, you guys are all in the right place at the right time. We can see how many people are in here, and I think we're up over 1,000 at this point. Everybody getting a quick update. Do us a favor. If you just got in here, if you haven't before, hit the like or the follow button, the share button. That's awesome. Any of those buttons, feel free to hit them and send the stream going. And that's how we keep this rolling for you. And we appreciate it. Cheryl's the first one to fill up the screen with likes. We can see the comments. We can see the likes when you do it. If everybody just takes 1 second of their life and smashes that like button right now. And if you want a bonus, hit the share button or the follow. That's even better. That way you'll get notified when we do these things. What do we've got here? The 190 from Bad Idea Buffalo shouldn't take a chance. I think they're talking about schools. 190 to downtown to the 90 was a mess. Yeah, that was a lot of that is what you're looking at right here. Once you drive over the Skyway, it looks like this. And then obviously the other cameras are ugly as well. These are the bell ringers, but we're going to add some folks to the double digit club today or I should say tonight, as this lake snow band continues to migrate over the same area. That's why we wanted to come on, because the event is not over at all. Yeah, David.
I do have a camera here, NightTech camera. This is the 400 exit.
No.
Yeah, the 400 exit on the throughway right now, and
you're telling me the throughway's open in that area?
It is or isn't. People are still traveling on it.
It looks like they're all training behind a plow, which is that's a
semi.
That's just a semi. Everybody's got the four ways on. They do anyway. It looks like it's single file through the dark. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. Kaisertown in the house, starting to get theirs in Kaisertown. So it's man, oh man. Look at that. So let's go back to the radar.
Where was asking the 400 where? So that's the 9400 exit, West Seneca.
Oh my gosh, that's right. That's the dead center of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what that. I know it's dark out and everything. That's got to be.
That's not fun.
No, that's not fun, and
you're literally relying on the car in front of you.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, at that snow rate, if this doesn't move, you're 6 to 8 inches easy out of this thing. And when you look at this, David, I just don't see. I don't see it wanting to go north or south. Unfortunately, I think it's kind of found a spot that it likes, and the Lake Snow Band is just going to sit right there and crush them. Even though the winds are dying down, you can see that the extent of the snow band is definitely not as far as it was, but near the lake, it's still coming down at a clip that is going to put down, a couple inches per hour there in those communities, and it doesn't look like that's going to stop. It definitely weakens a little bit over the lake, but the lake is 43. The air is in the teens, and then you go a mile up, it's even less than that. West Seneca is a mess right now. They're not going to plow you till it's done. You're not going to see a town plow come through until it's done. Yeah, that was insane on the 400. Does Lancaster have a travel ban? I don't know what the travel bans are at this stage of the game. Probably have to go to the county website. When's it going to hit Marilla? So Marilla is back out here, and it'll take a while, because right now it's at an angle that's north of Marilla. So this is going to end up kind of retracting closer to the lakeshore. So Marilla won't take a brunt of it. I think it's going to maybe make it as far as East Aurora as it reorients and heads south. And it's really going to weaken pretty quickly. It says, where in OP is there 30? I'm off Jewett Homeland near OP Country Club. I have 36. Wow, that's pretty big. That's a lot. And the tough part is, Michael, I'm in that area. There's a lot of drifts out there. And I went on a measure with my kids. I said, okay, you have 3 kids. I said, you go here, you go here, you go here. And we took an average on it. It's tough. It was blowing and drifting. So, Aaron said, someone was asking how much more. So it's not Aaron, we weren't given a total for the day, but they were saying how much more snow before all of this is done. So that's the answer that we were going for there. Yes, you already have 6 to 8 in South Buffalo since it started. Someone asked how much more is coming. So that's what we've got. That's the everybody wasn't concerned about what's on the ground now, but they wanted to know how much more is coming. So that's what we're looking at from here to the finish line. Amherst, it came close, Amherst. You were almost in the party, and then the Lake Effect Snow Band said, you know what, we're going to give Buffalo a pass this time. West Seneca should have a travel ban. Well, we'll see what happens here. Look at this. They had 3 so they've got 3 plows in a row. They're running tandems and triples. So that's one way to do it. Lackawanna is really bad. Let's see here. Can we share from Lancaster to Niagara County? Not a problem. You get out of Lancaster, and the rest of it's a piece of cake. You're not even going to find snow on the ground up there. Cameras by the lake. Well, the one we've got is in downtown Buffalo, but I don't think we have one. If you have one on Route 5, this is as clear as it gets. I believe that it's maybe even down the pavement on Huron. Yeah, you're dry pavement. There's not a flake falling as we watch it there, and that's how close that's how close this thing is. And it's really not. We thought maybe we'd get a wobble up into the city, but I think any of the wobbling is done. I think this thing is just going to kind of sit right there. If anything, it's going to begin sinking slightly south. And that means the stadium is right in here. So it's just north of the stadium right now, but that is going to come that direction. It's going to fade away in place. It says it hasn't stopped in West Seneca. Total whiteout there yet as well. When is this going to shift away from West Seneca? It's going to take a few more hours into the early overnight before it does. Blaisdell getting beat up again. People want to see where this is going. All right, so here's the snow band as it stands right now. And this is what you're looking at. So where is this going to go? Where is this going to take it? So it looks like this right now. That's representative of where it's snowing. So by the time we get to 2 o'clock in the morning, this is not moving a whole lot. And what happens is it really just retracts and then fades away. So between now and the early overnight, I'm going to bring it back. Don't freak out that it's going to be put back. But I just want to show the fade on this thing again as it does. That's the path. So by the morning drive, this is history. And it's going to fade pretty quickly. And then that brings it down to Dunkirk, still down here for the morning drive. And then it just kind of dissipates just back over to clouds. So that's how this story ends. But right now, it's still piling up in portions of West Seneca. I think we just covered that there. West Seneca, Cheektowaga border. How are we looking for next week? Well, I'll get you into the weekend at this stage of the game. We don't want to go too far ahead of ourselves. This is the numbers that we have. We've got today, it was in the 20s, Friday's in the 20s, Saturday's 37. No mention of snow. If anything, just a couple of rain showers there. Hey, David, I had to do this today as well. Keep the furnace vents clear. I know these spots in West Seneca are just getting hit now with some of the snow. And if it's blowing around and it piles up, it could cause a problem. David, what do we got there?
Oh, this is a picture from Cheryl in South Buffalo. You mentioned her earlier, and she just sent this in to us. So you can see it's coming down at a pretty good clip, but thankfully, because there's a lack of wind, it's just falling straight down. And I was just looking at another Night Tech camera here. I want to share this with you right now, and this is on Route 5 Ridge Road exit, and these cars are going maybe 5 miles an hour.
Wow.
So it is very tricky, slippery driving.
Thruway Ridge?
No, this is Route 5.
Oh, Route 5
Route
at Ridge
5
Road?
Ridge.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right in the middle of this.
Yeah. This is going to be the area. I mean, Route 5 is right along Lake Erie. So this is going to be the stretch where you do get a little bit of wind compared to if you're more inland. So you're getting some of the wind. I don't know if you could see the lights out there in the distance and the snow going on and off. It's just, moving sideways. But that's kind of the case right now, or it is the case looking at this camera. It is not fun travel conditions.
That's as inside the band as you're going to get. Just awful, says Shara. Sandra says it's bad in there as well. How much more in Blaisdell? At least another 6. Take what you've got there and add 6 to it before this thing is done. Lancaster getting hit as well. Diane says clean those. Yeah, I had to clean them in Hamburg. Anybody who's got anywhere close to 2 feet of snow has to take care of that stuff. Nothing in Cheektowaga. Let's go back to this. So it's funny because it depends on who you talk to in Cheektowaga. But if you're north of in the northern section of Cheektowaga, you don't have anything. That corner, there's the 33 as you exit to the airport. The Galleria is one side of the thruway is getting snow, the other side isn't. Which ironically, David, that's where it cut off last time. As I remember, after the Thanksgiving snow, you drove up there, and Sandra says it. There's really nothing to talk about. The plow guys at the airport they got ready to go this morning. They did a quick scrape, and then that was it. They had all those plows ready to go. It came right up to the edge, and that was it. Hey, should we entertain some thoughts on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day?
If you want to, but I think it's way too far out.
I think it's too far. I love the question. I think about it a lot, but yeah, we're really focused on the next 12 hours, probably not the next 12 days. Just came back from the Twin Rinks, hammered all the way to Kaisertown. Harry's good till morning, probably good till the weekend. with all of that. My goodness, check that out. How much more snow will Eden get? Fortunately, Eden is getting a break right now, much needed break. There's a lot of 30 inchers in Eden. Yeah, you've hit the 30-inch club there, and you're probably going to see this as it comes through. It'll be deteriorating, so you might tack on maybe another 4 to 6 inches on top of what you got. By the time it gets to you, it's going to be weakening at that point. 3 feet at the OP Hamburg border. It is calm for now, says Kyle. And then will it be over tomorrow? Yeah, it'll be over tonight, Melissa, in West Seneca. This all comes to an end. Steady, heavy snow in Lackawanna. Cars are getting buried. Totals. Yeah, you tell us what your totals are. And, we said you're probably going to add another 6 to whatever you're sitting on right now by the time this is done. We're hearing that a lot of these areas have 4 to 6 inches of snow for the day, most of which have come recently. And then they're going to add to that as this continues to kind of pile on. Hey, if you haven't, do us a very quick favor. And this is the pitch for you guys to hit that like button and the share button. If you do that for us, it sends the stream out. And it works out pretty well for everybody. More people have a chance to get informed and kind of expose people to this type of update that you can get. I think most people tonight are watching on their phones, and that's great. If you want to follow the page too, but right now we can see your comments if you want to write them, and then also we can see all the likes. So if you guys can hit that, we're up there. We can watch the numbers. Just if everybody hits it all at once, and we'll send that thing flying. And see how it goes, and we'll answer some more questions now.
Hey,
you got to be prepared for this time of year. David, fire away.
Yeah, I mean, people keep on asking about Cheektowaga. Look at this picture from Sharon. She says it's coming down really good out there in the 14227. So that's a beautiful picture, by the way. I love that. I love the lighting.
Nice.
You can see all the fresh new snow that has fallen, and I mean that band. Going back to radar, it is intense right now.
Yeah. Haley just jumped into the stream. First of all, welcome along, Haley. Appreciate it. How long will South Buffalo be? We're done. After tonight, it is done. So, if the side streets are still ugly, I don't know that maybe they're saying, hey, it's going to be less than a foot of snow, so we're going to do it. Or maybe they'll have you guys. Maybe this is the snowfall that South Buffalo shines, and they come out and they get you guys cleaned up before the kids go to school tomorrow, right? Everybody, okay, I can hear all the moans and groans. No one complains about the plows more than South Buffalo. The good part about when it's over, the rain. Oh, let's not talk about that, please. Tablets. People are watching the tablets tonight. That's great. The side streets haven't been touched. Here we go. Cheektowaga, south of William, is a different snow climate. So if we go over here to Cheektowaga and you can see the William Street. Yeah, it is. You get south of that and you're in the state completely. It's almost as if Cheektowaga has 1 foot in the north towns and 1 foot in the south towns. You're still going to have some snow, Brandy, in Dunkirk tomorrow at around 7 o'clock. Not sure when all the travel bans are being lifted, but I don't know if they probably can't do it in unison. But they'll be, whichever community gets to dig out first, they'll be doing better. Lancaster, I'm not sure if Lancaster is closed yet, which is interesting because I don't think they got hit too hard during the day today, and then they probably did a good scrape, and then now they're getting hit again. But they might have to consider that tomorrow morning. What do we got here? This is North Lancaster getting hit too now. Yeah, this actually is maybe a little further north than when we were talking last time. It's getting close. Let's check the downtown camera. Are we getting any snowflakes there in the city? None. Not yet. We'll widen the picture out, and you can see it's still bare ground, dry pavement in the city of Buffalo. But then you go just on the other side of the 190, and it's really ugly. Hey, Kathleen, used to live on the west side. They plowed so much. South Buffalo. I don't know what it is, but they do not like the level of service they get from the plows. Marilla got hit harder than I thought it would. 3 feet. We've heard Marilla some pretty good stories out there, and a lot of blowing snow too. Very tough to get a quality measurement in this because it's just blowing and drifting. How many days till spring? What time is it supposed to stop? I think it was this one here from Allison. Can I snowblow? Yeah, go ahead. Snowblow at midnight. Yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty good time. There's not going to be much more after that because this snow band, while it is holding its position, it's likely to weaken a bit where it is. And you can see, even especially here out towards Batavia and Attica, it's beginning to retract a little bit closer to the lake. So less and less of these inland communities like Alden, Corfu, and Akron, Alexander, Attica, still coming down, but not as heavy as it was. And so that's going to be the trend over the next few hours. But areas like, it's going to be these areas of West Seneca, South Cheektowaga, Lancaster, Lackawanna, Blaisdell, portions of Orchard Park that are going to continue to see the snow tonight. So you didn't get in on the snow party as often this afternoon, but this band just doesn't want to leave home. You can see that the origination point now is separating from Long Point. That's going to be indicative of a dip. So maybe we've got another few hours of ice where this thing stays right where it is, where it stays isolated, and then it begins to drop. What do you got, Dave?
This is a throughway right around Ridge Road and the Mile Strip exit. And the four ways are on. Travel is barely moving at a crawl right there. I would not want to be on the throughway, Andy.
Where's
traveling
that one
right now?
That is the Mile Strip.
That is it's throughway between Ridge Road and Mile Strip.
Gotcha. All right, so that's going to be right in this area here. So that gets us. You can see where the 219 slides off, and then that goes. Wow. So that's what you've got. Those are that's the throughway, and there's standstill.
Yeah.
You're
going 2-3 miles right now. I've seen a lot of tractor trailers. Looks like somebody's trying to take a U-turn and go the other way.
I think they're turning them around. Watch the taillights.
Yeah.
They're turning. I think they're sending everybody back the other direction. If you watch the taillights, they turn into headlights as they take the cut through. Look at that. Wow. South Buffalo has about a foot of snow, snowing heavily, blowing, can't see across the street. Is it going to snow? Yeah, we're hearing that Kaisertown is getting some snow there as well. Snowing hard at South Cheektowaga in the West Seneca line. Nadine, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Happy to do the coverage for you guys. You guys request it. We put it on the screen. All we ask is that you hit those likes and those shares. That's awesome. Look at this. Lancaster getting hit again. Everybody in Lancaster. It doesn't matter whether you're north or you're south. Gail, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Pouring snow, to use a rain reference and a snow reference all together in West Seneca. Let's go back to that one and bring that up as we watch that one here. That is some very heavy snow in there. I can't tell how much it's blowing around in that picture, but it's certainly coming down to the point where it's going to reduce visibilities, change the texture of the road pretty quick as well. Definitely, we can really now, David, looking at this radar, if you agree that we're starting to see a shift.
Yes.
As it begins to, it's flexing southward. So areas that are getting hit right now, we mentioned that we have a few more hours of this. And so what you see is what you get for a few more hours. And then this will begin to weaken, slide, and exit stage south through Hamburg, Eden, Lake Erie Beach, Sturgeon Point, Derby, Evans, Silver Creek, Gowanda, all of those spots. So, and then that'll be all she wrote for snow for a number of days. And that's what we're watching. How much more out by the stadium? Well, as we watch this go by, it's probably another 4 to 6 inches of snow as this kind of moves. And once it picks up speed and begins headed south, it's not going to take that long. It's going to move. Lake Erie temp, I think, Tracy, we talked about it, was 43. Yes, maybe it was 43 this morning. She lives on, not a lot going on. Buffalo, Cheektowaga, Depew. The street I live on is Buffalo, Cheektowaga. So right in that corner where Buffalo, Cheektowaga, and Depew come together. You're right. One side of the throughway you're getting there, you're not. Last comment, South Buffalo had payloaders and kept the street so clear this afternoon, but it wasn't really. Well, it's easy to keep them clear when the snow isn't that bad. You're getting out tomorrow. no problems. Gettsville to the airport couldn't be easier. They pre-salted the roads. That's another one here. Are we in for another storm the week of Christmas? The lake is wide open. Everything has another chance. All it takes is the right cold air to come in here. Hey, Joe says at least it's not hurricanes. West Seneca's getting pummeled. Stingers in the house. Laura Smith. Excellent, Lauren. Always good to see the Stingers represented. And they're playing indoor ball at Salen's, which, by the way, if we look at that, that was a spot that got hit too. So if you're out here in Elma, and that they caught a bunch of snow out there. Elma, East Aurora, Orchard Park. It's not snowing there right now, but man, they got hit. Beth says, yes, we are getting hit. 100%. David, what do you got? That looks like somebody's front door that needs some work.
This is, oh, there we go. That's Cary. Cary, West Seneca, South Buffalo border is what we're looking at. So that is definitely got to get the shovel.
Yep.
Out there. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how deep that is. What'd you say? Like 8-10 inches?
It's hard to tell. I mean, everything is so drifted around today, but yeah, you're 6 to 12 if you put a number out of here. Hey, you know what? Let's give South Buffalo their dues. They said they did a great job with snow removal. Lots of people praising the removal efforts today. That's great. Better than they're used to. Okay. At least we know you acknowledge, the laments in South Buffalo. Who's getting? It says West Seneca is getting hit down there again. Cheryl says the Bills Mafia. Yeah, they are not playing in Buffalo, so they're over in Detroit in a dome, so they don't have to worry about it this week. Take a look at this. These are some of the numbers that we're in. We're going to have some 30s on the map for sure in the hardest hit spots. So there's a few 30s, a lot of 20s, and a lot of teens on the map. So 1 to 2 feet was kind of what a lot of people felt, and then there were some big boys out there. Some people got to see the snow stick around a little bit longer than others. That's the view as we go from the Ohio Street exit to Route 5 in downtown. That's a picture of downtown Buffalo, as it has not a flake, just a little bit of light snow, and some of that came earlier today. And it doesn't look like once we get rid of this lake snow tonight, we're done with it on Friday. And then Saturday, we're done as well. So this is not going to be a 4-day event, but we start going back the other direction. And it'll get warm enough that we'll be able to get rid of some of that snow as well. She lives in the village, and they had way more. Which village had more than 30 inches, Katie? We're not sure what location. Gloria, thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, we've got 19 inches on the deck in West Seneca. So if we go back to the radar, I guess West Seneca. Which part of West Seneca are you in, Lisa? Give us a little help. I don't need your street address. Just what are you near? Give me a landmark, and we'll see what number. See where we're at with that. That's a pretty hefty number. 19 inches in West Seneca. That's been coming down pretty good. I know once it moved in there in West Seneca, David, it just set up shop. But it makes the lights look good, doesn't it?
Yeah, speaking of lights, take a look at this photo. This is from Andy out in West Seneca, and you see the snowman right there having a good time, but the Christmas lights, it's perfect for this time of year, right? If you don't have to go anywhere, you just sit back, enjoy a hot cup of tea or coffee, and
I'm looking that part of West Seneca, wherever that's taken. I mean, that doesn't look like 19 inches of snow, so it's amazing the differences. Judging by the snowman there, the little guys covered up pretty good, but the other two not so bad. And if you see the fire hydrant there in the distance,
this was, to be fair, this was taken 2 hours ago.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So they've added on to that.
Yeah,
you got it. Is Hamburg done for the snow? Yeah, it is for now. Lisa says she's over by Cone King. All right, there we go. All right, let's pull this in. So Cone King is going to be in this part of West Seneca, right in here. So that's where that is. So you guys can see what we're talking about. So that's where you've got 19 inches of snow. So that's I would call that kind of mid mid to south portion of West Seneca because the northern edge goes all the way up there. So yeah, that's a heap of snow. That's a lot. All right, here we go. Here come another measurements. First of all, Rebecca, your boyfriend is out there taking care. Oh, his car. I thought it said your car, and he was clearing 24 inches of snow off yours. Either way, yeah, that's a shot of snow right there. What do we say here? Next to East Middle School. Yep, that's great. We got you on the map. Duly noted. Peter said Old Union Road and French Road area of West Seneca. Old Union and French. So you're again right in the center of this. David, look at this. I'm telling you, once you cross 20 and 78, once you're over transit, it weakens. On the other side of like Alden is probably still snowing, but it's definitely, I mean, this thing is retracting back to the lake extremely fast, still dumping snow in this area, but I don't think it's going to be for that much longer. Let's watch the end of this and see if there's any change in speed. Not enough, not as much as you'd like to end it for the people in West Seneca. It's there for more than an hour. Even watching where the edge is and the city, it kind of creeped up to the city. It's almost there. Let's see if we're picking it up on nothing. Not a flake on this side of the city, not at all. That is shocking how close that is to the edge. Sandra says she's ready for summer. And will Depew continue tomorrow? Nope, we are done with this one. Cheryl can barely see out her window in South Buffalo. So that's how close this thing is to the city. But the wobble is indicating this wants to begin its trek back down to the south, and we're watching that origination point where the band is, and it's definitely leaning that direct or flexing that direction, but not enough to say, hey, the big move is on. But like we mentioned before, it's going to be another few hours of what you've got. The difference is, I think if you're inland Erie County, that drops off much quicker. So the snow totals or the snow rate drops off quickly as you get towards Alden, but the snow rate in Blaisdell, South Buffalo, West Seneca, and then now even Orchard Park as it begins to widen and swallow up some of the stadium, the snow rate is pretty good right there. Lancaster too, up to around Transit or so. I don't know if anybody is watching out here in Town Line or Alden, but we'd love to get a report to see how quickly it's dropping off there as well. Kelly says she lives one street away from Route 5 and can't see it. Wow. Near Transit in William in South Lancaster, still coming down pretty good. Snowing in Atoll Springs. Yeah, it is 100%. You're right in there. Nora would like to know what's it like between Union and William. She has to be there in the morning. She's asking because she's coming from Niagara County. So Union and William is going to be right in here. You can get 277, and it shouldn't be too bad. This is a decent amount of snow, but it's manageable. What do you got, David? Looks like another camp.
Speaking of William Street, this is the throughway at the William Street exit, and it looks like there is a spin out. And you can see at least one disabled vehicle right there, but one tow truck, two tow trucks now, actually. So, yeah, even the car right there is trying to weave out of harm's way right there. So it's slippery out there.
They're ready to.
But you know what? I will say the visibility looks improved at this location compared to what we were seeing within the past half an hour. But still, yeah, I mean, it is what it is out there right now.
You got decent visibility. Where is this taken? Where
this is now the William Street exit on the throughway. So Cheektowaga.
So we take it right there.
Like the Cheektowaga Sloan border.
Yeah, so that's where it's at. So that's the type of intensity you have at the edge of that band where, I mean, the roads are a mess. Someone spun out, but you've got good visibility there. That is a manageable visibility.
You could still see it snowing, but compared to, you go down a mile south into the thick of the band and you can't see.
Yeah, take us there. If you get a chance, bring that up. We'll get a look at it and get a peek at it. Hey, while I've got everybody here real quick, you're giving us a look. All we ask is that you give us a like or a share. A lot of people just walked in the room. We're on X, we're on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're catching us on any of those channels, please right now just give us a like, a share, and follow the page. That's even better if you can do one of those. Do all three if you'd like. That's all we ask as we continue to provide you the coverage we've got. Let's go ahead and bring the camera full and see where Dave's positioning us. Where is this one, David?
So we showed you William Street, right?
Yeah.
So let's go to the exit before that. And that's the exit where you get on the ramp to go to Buffalo on the freeway. So that's the interchange.
That says Pembroke. Is that not? Maybe that's not right.
No, that's not Pembroke.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
This is the throughway, the interchange where you would get off to go to the 190 to Buffalo.
Oh, okay, gotcha. The 9190 interchange that takes you into the city.
Yeah,
that's where the fake buffaloes are in the median, things like that.
Yeah.
So that's going to be right there. So you're right. You go one exit from William over to there. What a difference in visibility.
Yeah, you can barely make out the plows on the right too.
I mean, it's dark out and everything, but still, it's still coming down pretty good there. All right, street. Let's see. We got South Buffalo. How much? We were saying whatever you're sitting on now, you could just throw another 6 inches on it, and that's probably what you're going to end up with. West Seneca area, the Ogden Street 190 is dumping, and I think that was one of the ones that we were looking at before. I mean, the difference is like this. Let me pull you off of there, Sam. Take a look at this. That's the Ohio Street and Route 5 190. There it is downtown. You can see the where that's crushing those folks. Julie, thank you very much. We appreciate the kind words. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Laura, thank you for popping in. And we've got another one that says she lives getting hit there. Who's that? Sam is getting hit. Genesee has wet roads till Harris Hill. Then it's snowpacked towards Alden. So Genesee Street, and then it gets snowpacked all the way out to Alden. Oh my gosh, look at that. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff. Mark wants to know, what about Hamburg? So Mark in Hamburg, we'll bring you guys in. I know we're kind of focusing on these areas that are getting hit right now. You're on the outside, the south side looking in, but this will begin to fade and sink across Hamburg and add several more inches of snow to what you already got, which is a very solid amount of snow in Hamburg. So you're going to add a few more to that, but it won't be enough that you're not going to walk out to extra feet of snow, just a few extra inches of snow. And this is definitely crushing these folks in West Seneca. That's going to add up. They're going to end up, I mean, you throw 6 inches on top of what you already have now, and you're going to get more. They're double-digit club easy by the time they get up in the morning. Nothing in Springville. Nope, Springville's on the outside looking in. Early AM commuters are looking good in the south towns, other than, I mean, your driveways and things like that, Rebecca. But once you get out of that, if they do run the town plows and get them going, things will look much better. Tammy says South Buffalo getting hit pretty good right now. In Sloan, it's not terrible, but it's snowing, says Star. Much lighter snow in Alden, Darien border. Yeah, you can sense that. You can see it on the radar as you're reading it. It's beginning to retract closer to the shoreline of Lake Erie, but still, those communities that we talked about closer to the shoreline are getting hit pretty good there. When are they going to stop in South Cheektowaga? Again, it'll probably take another few hours of exactly what you got before this thing wraps up. And Yorkshire will get more snow overnight, and maybe a little bit, but again, not a ton in Yorkshire. Too far out. The snow has picked up in Hamburg near 20. Yes, you get the sense that it has, because it did just in the last hour. So here's a loop, and you can see. Let me pause this. I can toggle it. And you can see that some of the southern edge there catching portions of Hamburg, but not all of Hamburg. What else we got here? Lancaster still getting hit. When is it going to leave Lackawanna? The next few hours here. A lot of people still getting beat up by a lot of this. Wants to go to Holiday Valley tomorrow from Amherst. You'll make it. And they've been making snow down there as well. So good for everybody. All right. You know what? This is kind of what you see is what you get. We've got the lake effect snow band crushing portions of the south towns. David, we'll take one more camera. What do we got?
Yeah, this is the Seneca Street exit on the 190, and you can see a car well out there off the medium right
Wow.
there, and the cop right there. So
That's
it is.
where.
This is Seneca Street exit on the 190.
And that guy is, I mean, he is way off.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. I mean, especially if you don't have snow tires.
Yeah.
If you're going too fast, you'll certainly know it. You know, you're just better off to take your time and go a few miles under the speed limit.
Yeah. And again, the visibility is not so bad there, but it must be because you can actually see some lane tire tracks, you know, but the slush is the killer. You try to turn or change lanes through slush.
That's what I was going to say. It's sometimes on, you know, especially on the 990 with the on and off ramps, those can be deceiving when you're going. I know there's the one exit on Transit on the 990 that I get off, and it is I mean, it turns fast. So
it does. All right, let's take what's the grand total for West Seneca? We're hearing right now some of these measurements, Rob, between 14 and 20 inches right now in West Seneca, depending upon which part you're in. Southern West Seneca, it had got more than northern West Seneca, but that's what we're hearing. So we're hearing other people here. He's saying just under 2 feet. Hard to get really good measurements because a lot of it was blowing around today. East Aurora, we'll see a little bit more as well. Cindy, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yes, it is South Buffalo's turn and to get the snow, and that's what they're doing right now is getting hit by this snow band. Although this is kind of like where you say the folks that got hit earlier today, this is nothing because the winds aren't there. Yes, it's snowing 100%, but it's not blowing around as much. Where was it? How much in Derby? You're going to see another one here, Chloe in Derby. You're watching from down there. This has now begun to kind of increase along the shoreline. Let me put the loop back on here. You can see it's been just offshore. So it's over to Old Sturgeon Point and 5 over by the Tops. Maybe as the far inlet as that goes. But this band will eventually kind of crash into the shoreline as this thing slowly dissipates. But unfortunately, it says, hey, you know what? We're just going to keep dumping on top of Lackawanna and West Seneca for the next few hours. But that's it. It borders Buffalo to the north, Blaisdell to the south, and right in the center of that is where all of that is. Depew should be stopping in the next few hours. Will it be safe driving West Seneca? Yes, absolutely. Tomorrow, this will all be done. West Seneca 219 entrance, heavy snow, another foot on top of what yep. So yeah, what you got early in the day, you added to that, and then now we're going to tack on between now and the finish line about another 6 inches on top of that. So that's where things are going to finish up. And speaking of finishing up, I think we'll probably wrap this up here because there's not a whole lot more of this story to tell when it comes to where the snow band is, where it's going, and it's going to kind of snow itself out right on top of the folks that are there. David, you want to end it we got a nice picture to end on here today?
A nice Zen picture from Nan in Olcott. I mean, they were not in the thick of the band. They didn't see any snow today, but they got to, feel a beautiful warm sunset out there in the distance. So I just wanted to leave off on a Zen note because we've been talking about snow so much. Why not just take a bit of a break before you have to go outside again and shovel some more.
We got it. Hey, we appreciate everybody for stopping by. We know there's still a few thousand people in here watching right now. We've been on for over an hour and doing this for everybody. If you guys would just throw us a like and a share and a follow as we wrap it up tonight. But if you do that, you can be notified when we do these updates. And we don't do them when it's always sunny. We do them when there's weather that's about to enter Western New York. So for David, I want to say thank you for stopping by, and we'll see everybody next time, all right?